All right, for the next video of the Architechsports and Physical Therapy Spinal Stabilization Program, we're going to advance from the last video clip. Previously, Joe was showing you how to do the transverse abdominal contractions while laying on the ground. There he taught you how to tighten up that stomach, bringing that belly button into the spine. In there, then he started using lower extremity movements, getting the legs to come out straight, come back in, while maintaining that stabilization. After that, he showed you how to do bridging and advance from there. But now we're going to get off the ground and we're going to go to the next level. So now we're going to maintain that same stabilization, keeping that stomach nice and tight. Back has to stay nice and flat, and we're going to do a hip hinge. And the purpose of this one is to not only maintain that stabilization in the back, but we're going to learn to move in the hips now instead of the low back. So tightening that stomach up, keep that back flat. You're going to hinge down at your hips. Essentially, you want to go as far as you can go. You're going to start to feel the stretch here, as far as you can go while maintaining that flat back position. You don't want to start to round like that, okay? As long as you can maintain that flat back, tight stomach, you're going to go down. At this point, I now want to return to come back up, and we're going to do that by activating those glutes now. So you're going to squeeze those glutes, you're going to bring those hips forward as you come back up. Some of the common faults that we see when people do this, not only is as you go down, you start rounding, but if you're able to maintain it, then they come all the way up with the back first before they drive with those hips then. You want to do that at the same time. Keep that back nice and flat, engage those glutes, and bring those hips forward, coming up like that. If you can get that down, we can move to the next level, which is going to be a two-legged squat. So for this one, you're going to do the same thing. We got to maintain that tight stomach. We're going to keep a rigid back, okay? We're going to lead with the hips coming out first, okay? What I see a lot of the faults for this one is that, especially in any type of squats, people like to go down first, like here. If your first movement is to come down, you're going to start to load your knees more, and that's going to be a problem for that. What I want you to do is, again, tight stomach, rigid back, sit your butt back first, and then you can come down so that we're trying to keep a parallel spine, perpendicular leg. You're going to keep that back nice and flat there. And then same thing as before with that hip hinge. We're now going to activate those glutes to come on up. So at home, you can certainly do that as simple air squat like I did there. Otherwise, I like to use a box as a place that you have to reach to go down to. You can start with a higher up box. This is about a 16-inch box. You can work your way down. Again, tight core, rigid back, stick that butt back, tap at the box, and then fire those glutes to come back up. Okay? You can accomplish that. We move on to the next one. And this is going to be the step down. Now this is a very important exercise. It's a very functional exercise, but it does have a lot of rules that come with it in order to do it right. What you're going to do is find a step. Most people have stairs at home that will work perfect. You're going to have one leg up on that step. All right? What I look for is that I want to keep your hips level. All right? We got to keep your knees straight as we step down. We don't want it diving in or out. And the same thing as like the squat before, we don't go down first, we sit your butt back. So as I come down for that lateral step down, I'm trying to work on keeping a stable knee, hips are staying level, and I'm sitting back into that. When I tap there, I come right back up again. Watch out for, as you come down, that you don't reach for the ground, because then those hips get off, okay? Keep the hips back. You gotta sit back in order to come down, tap, and come back up. If you wanna see that from the side, we're gonna stand here, hips go back, rigid back, tight core. We're gonna come down, tap, use those glutes to come right back up. So you can see between the previous clips when we were doing the transverse, as well as the glutes, that we're combining those two into the more functional activities. That's going to help to protect the back better, and it's going to make you stronger and more stable in the spine.